I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow, grateful to take another step in this process that started all this time ago. I want to let go of unconscious patterns, thoughts and behaviors that don't serve me anymore and that are blocking a life of health, wealth and wisdom. I want to take more leadership of my life and in my business. I want to be able to speak my truth and manifest my vision for Human Forest. I guess the whole healing journey started quite some time ago when I was at university. I was studying psychology because that was already maybe part of the healing process, like wanting to understand the mind. And I've been bullied as a child a lot, so I was like really interested in how does this work. And when I was at university, I got addicted to cocaine and ecstasy. I also was feeling quite depressed, very insecure, having negative thoughts, and it was hard to get up or go to school. I didn't go to university a lot, I just stayed home a lot. I did all the reading at home. I had very good grades. So no one noticed something of me, I guess. And also during the day, once it gets like 4, 5, 6 o'clock, when the light gets, at the golden hour basically, the nice light, I would feel very depressed, and I know I just wasn't in a good place. And I think the addiction is maybe me trying to solve that, because what is if you go out in the weekend with your friends and you take drugs and you feel good? So it was a way to battle that, I think. So I reached out to an institution that helped people with addiction. And I think that was like the real starting point. And that was helpful because I quit. And then 10 years later, I was walking my dog, I was listening to a podcast, and then people spoke about ayahuasca as like a healing medicine, and I still had these negative thoughts. I'm like, whoa, what is this? Like my whole body just started tinting, and this is really interesting. I want to look into this, but I was also very hesitant. Like, ooh, I don't want this to be like the next addiction, I don't want to go back to that period of my life. And ayahuasca is like a macro doses, it's very intense, you need to prepare, it can be also a challenging experience. So I'm like, oh, you can also do a microdose? I was very intrigued by that. So I just Googled microdosing in the Netherlands and I found Microdosing Insitute, and I got on the phone with Hein and I started microdosing with truffles. And I approached it like a researcher. So I had a journal, and I wrote down, how do I feel? I gave it numbers to see, like, I wanted to know for myself, like, does this really have an effect?
I've been involved in psychedelics and the use of psychedelics, and since I was 18, I was intrigued by the potential healing power of psychedelics. So after 30 years of exploring psychedelics in higher doses, I stumbled upon microdosing. Back in 2016, I came in contact with Jim Fadiman, who has been our friend and mentor ever since. Inspired by his work, I wanted to build a platform and I wanted to build a website, because there's so much interest and there's so little knowledge and a realistic viewpoint, because we really wanted to have a balance between the hype and the hope that microdosing has for a lot of people. And later on we thought, okay, we need to have more and more research being done. So we've built a bridge to the researchers that wanted to do research but didn't have the connection with the community, with the microdosers.
Microdosing is the practice of consuming a very tiny amount of a psychedelic substance for a consistent period of time by following a certain protocol, with the intention of improving one's quality of life.
What we have now is that we coach people and we guide people through their microdosing journey. So we collaborate with trauma therapists and psychotherapists and psychiatrists that can help with tapering off, and a lot of people in our 6-week microdosing coaching programs, they also want to experience a high-dose journey. And although Microdosing Insitute is only involved and also only focused on microdosing, we collaborate with people who facilitate that, like Wieneke from Feel Life Now. As she's not only a microdose coach in our team, but she also facilitates high-dose journeys. And we strongly believe in the combination of doing a microdosing journey towards a high-dose journey or after a high-dose journey as an integration process.
It's now 3-4 years ago I connected with the Institute, Microdosing Insitute. Till now we're doing beautiful work like coaching, microdosing coaching and helping people by the beautiful practice of microdosing, but also using the microdosing to go to the macrodosing. So that you first go travel very slow and see your insights in normal day, and then you can sit for a longer time to really dive in. And if you're coming out of that, you take it also out again with microdosing.
So we're on this beautiful land. It's called Jugen Forest. Beautiful things are happening here, doing retreats, ceremonies, events, all things that has to do with health and healing.
What brings me here in Jugen Forest is guiding people with the magic of nature and of course the magic of the now in combination with microdosing and ceremonial work, so macrodosing. Welcome. This morning on the 26th in Wolgestaten by Jugen Forest. Yeah, and then I wanted to invite to start with sharing, and I think you know what a sharing circle is, but to say a little bit like the old Indians use it like with the talking stick to really learn to speak from the heart, but also really learn to listen. And not only the listening to the other one, but especially listening to the heart of what is there that wants to be told. So before that, I wanted to invite you to go in a little bit before we're going to share. Just come more and more in the now. So you close your eyes and just. For me, it's life is a ceremony. It's everywhere. If you take the attention to everything you do, then they can relax and really go and dive into it. Because it's not that I take over of their process, not at all. I just give them the trust that they can really surrender, you know, that I really can dive into that. So my role is to just be there and just hold space and hold spirit. I'm not in the role as a facilitator to help or to say what they have to do. They can do it themselves. And I think that's the most important thing, that we learn again that we have everything inside of us to do it ourselves. Everything.
If you want to experience a high-dose journey, it's very important to go from the head to the heart. So that is why we use breathwork and meditation, guided meditation, to bring people to slow down and to really feel in their body that they are present in the now. Breathwork is also a way to release tensions and really feel that you are there to surrender and to go into that high-dose journey. People can go through all kinds of different emotions and different insights and different ways of experiencing that journey. If you're anxious, then breathing will get you back into your body and really connect with yourself. So we assist people on that.
And if you're opening your eyes, first look and be grateful for your body. And just feel from the body, where is your sharing moment?
I realized that I'm also like very, very grateful that we actually have an opportunity to sit together again, to connect together again, to be together again. It's not only about me, because you're about your own intentions and why you're doing this, but it's so much bigger than our individual journeys. I'm so grateful that we are able to do this together. Yeah. So thank you all already.
We work also with setting an intention because that's really important. Setting an intention will give direction to your journey. And with microdosing, for instance, we also work with an intention. An intention is not a goal that you want to achieve, it's more something that you want to be connected to during your day.
I hope that I will get more confidence to be a better leader. You know, I've been in the background, I've been bullied, I didn't feel good about myself. And now stepping into the center stage of your own life, that's kind of scary. And I really want to participate in my life. I want to be like at the center.
Really what I hope for her is that she can soften. It's in the softness. There's something in the softness. The outcome would be very beautiful, that she can really touch to the feeling of our hearts. And she's coming more and more inside of her body and more away from the head. And the resonance, what's there at this moment, I really hope that that will happen. It's time for our ceremony and we connect to the beautiful truffle. It is a sacred thing. It's not only because it's a truffle, but nature is sacred. We are sacred. And the truffle, I invite you to just really eat it. And if you not like it or you get nauseous because you're eating it like that, there's also the possibility to make a beautiful tea. If you want that, just let us know. You already let us know it. Let's breathe and make connection with the truffle and see what he had. The ally will tell us and what's in this moment. And I want to take the mystery out of the... No. It's a good one.
We decided to start with 20 grams. And in 1 hour we will check and ask you if you want to boost 10 grams extra. It's all your gut feeling on this. If you want to take less, that's fine.
And if you want to have more after an hour and a half, we check. That's a good question, yeah. So I ask you to close your eyes and make connection with your heart. Make new connection to the truffle and take your time to just take it on your way.
These sacred mushrooms, we like to call them, they mainly contain psilocybin and psilocin. So that is the psychoactive compound that is inside the magic mushroom and in the magic truffles, because we work with truffles in Holland because they are completely legal here. And they also contain psilocybin and psilocin in them. What they do in the brain is they mimic serotonin. So they bind to the serotonin receptors, the 5-HT2A receptors. So it fits like a key in a door. So as for the high dose research of psilocybin containing mushrooms and truffles, what they found out is that the part in the brain where your ego is and where you talk to yourself and where rumination is, and in high doses it damps that part of the brain. So it resets your embedded patterns and it increases suggestibility, and that's where change can happen. I'd like to share a short poem that I always read to myself whenever I travel. It's very dear to my heart. So, I'm already given to the power that rules my fate, and I cling to nothing, so I will have nothing to defend.
I have no thoughts, so I will see. I fear nothing, so I will remember myself. Detached and at ease, I will dart past the eagle to be free.
Have a safe journey.
We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience in this life. And high-dose journeys really help you to realize that. If you ask yourself a question, then your intuition will tell you the answer, but it's not in thoughts or in words. It's like one piece of information that really resonates with every cell in your body.
It's here, it's in me. I can access it. Everything is in me. All the energy I need is in me, and I can always tap into that.
Fixating too much on what you think you know, that really you're missing out what you don't know. There are 6 or 7 billion people in the world and they all have their own truth. So in the psychedelic experience, you experience the truth as it is without your filters. Although you have like a spiritual experience, you need to integrate it into your daily life. And we find it most important that the use of psychedelics will be integrated in society, so reintegrated, because we lost that knowledge a little bit. We believe that microdosing will play a role in the integration part and in the aftercare when these high-dose treatments in combination with psychotherapy become legal in most countries, I hope, because with a high-dose journey, these insights come like a hurricane, and sometimes it can be very confusing, like a very vivid dream. So it's like, okay, what do I do with it? How can I integrate it? And with microdosing, these insights, they come like a gentle breeze. So it's more easy to implement and integrate them during your daily routines.
I felt in the retreats or in the groups we did that mostly, also for myself, the integration was so hard to do afterwards. You do a beautiful weekend and you have your insights, and then you're coming home and your family, or you have to go to work, and how do you integrate all the insights, what you get? So, and the microdosing, I was testing with it. It took me longer in that state. It helped me more to integrate in life.
Well, when it comes to microdosing, it's becoming more and more mainstream. Everybody can see it. It's now everywhere. People see it more as a food supplement, as a tool for personal development, and that is very good. As long as everybody understands that it's not a quick fix, that it's not a solution to your problem. You are the main character in the story, and you have to do the work. And we always compare it with an e-bike. You have to do the pedaling yourself, but the e-bike gives you like a little push, and microdosing can also give you that little push. So that's why it helps also with procrastination, because if you're feeling more connected to yourself and to your environment and nature, then as a side effect, you are more productive because you want to get the most out of your life.
So if we stand a really beautiful circle, I invite you to really set a beautiful circle together and connect with this fire. What was burning all ceremony.
What I want to share is reclaiming my power starts with acknowledging where and when and to whom I gave it away. The rest I think is for therapy, but but I do feel this is a first step into proceeding with healthier boundaries and continue to heal. So.
Yesterday, the ceremony. How are you doing? How are you feeling in this moment?
Pretty good, pretty tired still. Well, I did a lot of hard work yesterday, but I feel good. Yeah.
And about the leadership, which you told that you wanted to find my leadership. Now you said it different.
Yeah, to see how I can become a better leader, not only for my life but for my purpose, my mission. I felt like I entered my body, like re-entered my body. I re-inhabited my body, but it also felt really frightening. And it showed me a couple of experiences where I gave my power away, your life force, your energy. And that's like the prerequisite to truly being a leader or having leadership qualities. But because the memories where I gave my power away, they're quite intense. The truffles didn't go really deep into each experience. It's just like, these are the moments, but we're going to save that for later.
Yeah. So you could really look into the past to see where you gave your power away.
Yeah, or where I didn't have enough boundaries.
Yeah, it's about the boundaries also, huh? Yeah.
And deciding when and where to be vulnerable.
Is there something special you want to share with me about your process? Yeah.
I feel really stable and safe.
That feels good. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah.
It's even more than I could ask for, I guess. Stable and safe.
Yeah.
The demand of having professional coaches and therapists will be very big, because there are a lot of people with depression, a lot of people with burnout. So the demand is very big, but we also need well-trained facilitators. There's not a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists that can do the work. That is one of the main reasons why we have a facilitator program to accommodate that. So we are now training professionals and therapists, not only with microdosing, but also with these high-dose journeys.
Before going in, leadership was a theme, and I got shown some experiences from the past that need further attention. So I know this is just another first step that I need time to integrate, and I need time to learn to set more clear and personal boundaries. But I feel very stable, safe, and confident, and very grateful that I have the capacity to continue this journey with microdosing as a tool for personal growth. It also showed me that healing is not just about me, but about the collective journey that we all share and in which we all participate.